Still ahead, the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC, says it remains committed to creating predictable and consistent policies for a progressive business environment to ensure macroeconomic stability. Jumoke Oduoli, Special Advisor to the President on Ease of Doing Business, said this on Monday at the focus group session of the 7th National Action Plan with stakeholders in Abuja. The event featured the launch of the PEBEC's 7th 60-day National Action Plan. Take a look.
It's indeed my pleasure to give these opening remarks at this important focus group session with key stakeholders marking the launch of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council's 7th 60-day National Action Plan, NAP 7.0. The NAPs are homegrown, internationally recognized 60-day accelerators developed to coordinate the effective delivery of priority reforms implemented by select ministries, departments, and agencies to drive the ease of doing business in Nigeria. Since the inception of the Council in July 2016, the PEBEC has undertaken over 160 reforms developed through the active engagement of private and public sector voices. To us, there's no better way to kickstart the 7th iteration of this exercise than presenting the latest approved reforms to the ultimate beneficiaries, representatives of the private sector, in the presence of the hard-working public and civil servants charged with the responsibility of actualizing these reforms approved by the Council.
You would understand that the issues around the port facilitation are actually very varied. You have infrastructure issues, you have process issues. Our goal really is to first of all work on the process issues. You also have other conversations going on. Last week when we had the PEBEC meeting, the Honorable Minister of Works updated us on the construction of a road at that access. You see that between Apapa and Oshodi, serious work has been done. We have other buckets on that road that we expect that by June 2022 we would have some reasonable progress in that area. You also know that Lekki ports also, there's a long-term time to expand the capacity, to move some of the excess capacity from the Apapa ports to Lake. So there are a lot of issues. But for agro-exports, the goal is for us to boost the competitiveness of the agro-exports. We're working with the central bank to make sure that NXP process is faster and more seamless. We're also working with National Agricultural Quarantine Service, working with a lot of agencies just to make sure that, and more importantly, even also the NEPC, the Export Promotion Council, making sure that the domestic exports warehouse is also done within the next possible.
There you go, the ease of doing business. And now to give us perspectives, on the outcome of that event, we have Gabriel Idahosa, Deputy President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, joining us from our Lagos studio. Thank you so much for taking time to join us this afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay, now former governor of the central bank, Sanusi Lamido, has painted a gloomy picture of the economy beyond 2023. Now, how will you compare the optimism of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council on microeconomic stability and his predictions?
Well, the economy is made up of very many sectors. You can count up to about 25 sectors of the economy, and at any point in time some sectors are doing well and some sectors are not doing so well. So both persons, the former emir and the PEBEC, are right in terms of highlighting issues and sectors in the economy that have either done well or not done too well. So we have a balance of both sides. If you look at, for example, infrastructure, information and communication technology, if you look at services, there has been significant improvement in those sectors of the economy. But if you look at manufacturing, if you look at agriculture, then they have been heavily impacted by the issues we have, the issues of power in manufacturing, the issue of security in agriculture. Means that some sectors are not doing well. for reasons that are obvious. The sectors that are doing well are also doing well because there has been a lot of support to those sectors, either by government policy or by initiatives of operators in the economy. If you look at the creative industry, for example, the entertainment industry, the movie industry, it is essentially the enterprise of the operators in those sectors of the economy that have made those sectors continue to grow in spite of the challenges. So there is a balance of fortunes that are reflected in the optimism of PEBEC and the not so optimistic view of the former emir.
The Lagos State government, has said there is high rate of unemployment in Lagos State because of the influx of people, coming into Lagos. But some have actually argued that shouldn't this be what will actually attract investment into the state?
Well, unemployment does not attract investments. What attracts investments are opportunities that you can grow in an environment that provides the facilities you need to grow. And if you then have vacancies, you can hire people who may or may not be resident at this point in time in a particular location. So that the influx itself, it is not sufficient reason to expect additional investments into Lagos. What will continue to attract investment into Lagos is the investment in infrastructure in Lagos, the very friendly policies of Lagos and how well they continue to improve those policies. Those are the things that will attract investment into Lagos. If you have a lot of unemployed people coming to Lagos, particularly if they have no skills to offer, even if the jobs become available, they will not be able to be employed, and so they just remain an extra burden on the infrastructure of the city, without having any skills to contribute to production. So that's the perspective about the influx of population to any place. It's the skills that the people are bringing, the opportunities for growth in the economy that to employ those people, and if you look at the balance of all of that, you don't have enough new businesses being created in Lagos to absorb the influx of at the current rates and magnitude that you continue to experience. So you have a large balance of unemployed people in Lagos who are not even employable because they don't have the skills that are relevant to the kind of industrial or commercial activities that are going on in Lagos. So that's a matter for concern, definitely for the government of Lagos, how to cope with a very large population of newcomers into the town that do not have skills to be employable and do not have the knowledge or the resources to create new businesses. If they were coming in and creating new businesses, then that would be wonderful. It will be new investments, creating new jobs, and absorbing the extra people that are coming with them. But if all the new people are coming in and not creating jobs, then there will always be an excess supply of labor, even if they have the skills, let alone when they don't have the skills, so it becomes double jeopardy for the government to cope with.
Okay, so quickly now before we go, now Lagos State Governor recently signed into law a bill that requires registration of cooperative societies in Lagos. In your assessment, how would this enhance the status of Lagos as a commercial nerve center in the country?
Well, essentially, it's the registration of corporate societies is in one way or the other done in all states and in fact in all economies, because for you to operate legally as a cooperative society, you have to get the certificate of registration. So indirectly, they are already registered. So what Lagos State Met is actually doing is to build a database of all cooperative societies that exist, because after getting their certificates of registration, there is no other database to show which ones are actually operating after getting the certificate or are still operating in Lagos. And once you have that certificate of registration as a cooperative society, you can actually go elsewhere. You can move to neighboring states and do business. So the main intention is to build a good database for cooperative societies. With that database, for example, you can help them, you can provide capacity building, you can give them access to finance. It's much easier for financial institutions to deal with cooperative societies because they have a known structure, they have a known address, they have a uniform rules and regulations for their members, and they can provide some kind of guarantee for facilities given to the members. So all of that will help to promote business at the small and medium enterprise level where most of the cooperative societies operate. So the intention would be to enable government to not only directly support them, but link these cooperative societies with organizations like development partners who are looking for such small and medium enterprises to provide extra capacity, and then to financial institutions that want to focus on the small and medium enterprises. And it makes it easier for them to deal with them because they're already in the structure. It's much more difficult looking for small and medium enterprises all over the state of Lagos if you want to engage with them, either as a source of finance or as a source of capacity building. But once they are organized in cooperative societies, then it becomes extremely easy for them to be helped. Can contributors to the economy. So that's really the
Thank
background.
Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us here on the program. We've been speaking with Gabriel Idahosa. He's the Deputy President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and he joined us from our Lagos studios. Now, in a